Well, hello Glue Trippers, Max's Models here, and I thought we'd start the morning off with an unboxing. Now, I actually shot this video last night after getting back from a little get-together with the family for my recent retirement. So, I went to the post office today, got this huge box from Mr. Mahoney out of Louisville, Kentucky, and he sent me a whole bunch of goodies. Now, I did slice it open and take a quick look at some of the stuff inside. But let's take this little journey together. And Mr. Mahoney, thank you very much before we even get started. So, okay. Try not to knock the camera over here. There we go. Hey, what do you know? Ooh, that's a little precarious. There we go. All right. Paper. Woo. If Honey was here, she'd be chasing that across the floor. Okay, the first thing, we're starting off with Airfix with a 1/72nd scale MIG. This is the MIG's, what was it, 17? PZL Lim 5. And so I guess this is the PZL's Polish? Man, you should know that, Max. And I know that the MIGs are sometimes made in other countries. I'm not sure. I think even the Albanians may have made some. I know the Chinese did. But this says PZL Lim 5, so I'm going to probably have to do a little research, but I believe that is a Polish-built MiG 17. Let me see what it says right here. Okay. Airfix, note to self. A lot of model builders like myself, you know, we're wearing glasses and everything. This microscopic print, not helping. I'll have to get back to you on that. Next we have from Hasegawa, the FA-18C Hornet. And this is, I believe, a 1/72nd scale. It's got to be, yeah, 1/72nd scale. And this, let's see, that's F-18C. So, trying to remember if that's the big Hornet or the little Hornet. Man, I'm slipping gears. These are all the stuff right off the top of my head. I know the F-18A was the little one. The E and the F's are the big ones. Ugh. I'm sure I'll have looked it up and put something up here by now. But this, oh, well, look, it gives you some details on the kit. Model length, 237mm, 82 pieces. That's kind of neat that they give you this information. Again, in the old man can't read fine print. See what we have here from Hasegawa. Some armor. Tank Commander Staff Sergeant Brett Mahoney. Oh! So this is signed by the commander of this tank, I believe. And this is a M1 Abrams. Let's see, I'm guessing, well, 1/72nd scale. At least this is all in scale, 1/72nd scale, so I can put some of these things together if I want to create a diorama. And it just says M1 Abrams, and judging by the picture, I'm thinking this might be a slightly earlier model. It has a Canadian flag on the barrel, so I'll have to look see what the deal is on that particular tank. Oh, here we get into the bigger scale stuff. Staying with armor. We got some tanks. We have the magnificent Tacome, and I've heard good things of these Tacome kits. M46 Patton. And I'm sure a lot of you guys know the M46 was a follow-on to the Pershing, which was the first one to carry the name Patton. And we only had time to finish this for the Korean War build because both of these are Korean War variants of the tank. And, how fast can I build the Pershing? Let's see, I built the, was the Tamiya one with the equilibrator, the big spring, recoil spring up on top. It'd be interesting to compare the Tacome kit to it. And, it says U.S. medium tank. Well, I guess by then they were classifying as medium tanks, 1/35th scale. Just a few years before it had been classified as a heavy tank. Alright, back still with the armor. From Tamiya, we have the 155mm self-propelled gun, M40. And, you know, people ask why a self-propelled gun as opposed to towed artillery, and that is a good question. Now, I wasn't a cannon cocker when I was in the Army, but what I have been told by guys in artillery is that, of course, the self-propelled guns are more mobile because they are self-propelled. You can set them up a lot quicker because you don't have to unlimber them and get everything dug in and all that stuff. You just pretty much go, park, shoot. But, of course, the recoil in these things is brutal on the suspension and the whole vehicle, and so there's a fair bit of maintenance involved with these. So self-propelled guns, it's mobility is the big plus, and extra maintenance and care and feeding is the big negative. Fran, maybe you can add something to that if I got that right. And of course, self-propelled guns, I'm sure, are far more expensive. Oh, awesome. The F-20 Tiger Shark, another Hasegawa kit. I think my brother had the early version of this when the F-20 had just come out. That's like the greatest fighter that nobody bought, and even Chuck Yeager was impressed with it. And for those who don't know, this was a Northrop, I believe it was a company project, kind of to compete with the F-16 based on the F-5 Freedom Fighter, and they just put a monster big engine in, a lot of modern avionics, and updated the airplane. I mean, it's more than just an uprated F-5, but that was the basis that they started with. And everyone who's been involved with it said it's a very impressive machine. All right. Oh, okay, 176 is a Royal Aircraft Factory BE-2C. And I know everybody considers this, oh my God, the BE-2, what a death trap. All the airplanes back then were death traps. Yes, people went to war and let people shoot at them flying these little things. You're a better man than I, Gungadin. Okay, here we have an old Heller 1/72nd scale F6 F5 Hellcat. And I've only built a couple of Heller kits, but they always seem to be pretty competent. And of course, this one is, I believe, those French markings. Yeah, they're the models made in France. Oh great, that's all, it's all in French, so I'll have to look that up, and probably by the time I've made this video, it's I've already put up here whether it's French or Argentine, because it's got the little anchor on it, French Navarre, and two decoration possibles. The back just tells you all the other models that they make. Alright, that's the problem with doing these in real time is, you know, I only know what's off the top of my head and I have to go dig up the answers later. Okay, the Heller Gloucester Gladiator in 1/72nd scale. One of the most competent biplanes of the war. And it's kind of the, Gladiator was kind of the pinnacle of biplane technology. Up there with the Fiat C-42, or CR-42. I kid you not, I've actually been wanting one of these because as much as I'm in aviation, I don't have a model of the Wright Brothers plane. This is the famous Mattel kit, or excuse me, Monogram. So it's Monogram when Mattel owned them. So that means it's after '69. Sweet. Kuppelwagen, a 1/35th scale by Meng. I don't think I've ever built a Meng vehicle, so that'll be an interesting opportunity. I've heard good things about them. And this one's on the Eastern Front. Wow, that's a lot of parts. Alrighty. Alright, from the AFV Club. I have built AFV Club. They have every detail you can imagine. M49 A2C fuel tanker in 1/35th scale. And this is the kind of vehicle that they used when I was in the Army. At least it looks like it. I'm pretty sure that's the same thing. And of course built on the standard durable, you know, Army truck that you got. They have not changed those things much over time, but you got something that works, why change it? Front wheels are steerable, precisely replicates details, includes realistic rubber tires, includes realistic rubber pipes, comes with precise photo etch parts. Oh, beautiful. I will bet you that girl's going to be photo etched. What do you think? I haven't even looked at it yet. Alrighty. From LS, I have built some of their kits. They sold their stuff out a long time ago. We have a Babs and the Tachikawa KI-55, 2 Japanese aircraft. I believe the Tachikawa was a trainer, if I'm not mistaken, kind of their Vultee B-313. And the Babs was actually kind of a civilian airplane turned light bomber, and from what I understand, it was actually a pretty good airplane. The Japanese had a lot of these, early in the war, these fixed-gear airplanes that were really good at the end of the war, for like the Sonya and the Babs and a couple others. And, of course, once they went up against any kind of modern opposition, they were relegated to secondary roles after that. But they're kind of those forgotten airplanes, and they made a lot of them. In some cases, over 1,000 of them. They're just kind of forgotten history. If it wasn't a Zero or a Hayate or an Oscar, so one of the famous fighters, people just kind of forgot them. And that would be, if you could have something like that today to take to air shows and stuff, that would be awesome. We were just talking about this. Look familiar? The M151A2 Mutt. And this is... Okay, this is interesting. We have the one that... this one's got the Dragon. Okay. This is the one we talked about with the last unboxing. This is... And I just noticed this says Ford Mutt. So this was a Ford manufactured one. This is also a 151, but this one's set up as a tow. I said Dragon, I meant tow. Targeted optically, wire guided. This is an anti-tank missile system, a guided anti-tank missile system. And Tow Gunner, when I was in, was its own MOS, and it's a wire guided anti-tank missile. I imagine most of you guys are already familiar with it. As you can tell by these, they use the M151 like the way the Army used to use the Jeep. They always have. All kinds of different platforms. They had them set up for different stuff. And this guy, both these guys have the kind of helmets and everything that I was wearing. I was in the Army before the Kevlar helmets. So these are both back to my time. One thing you will note is this one has the spare tire on the rear, standard Jeep style. But because of the tow, this one specially made, has a spare tire on the side. So they are not identical vehicles, although there's a great deal of parts interchangeability with them. So, put those right there. Sweet. At some point I'm going to have to, maybe a Jeep build. And lastly, but by no means leastly, from Science World, the Voyager unmanned spacecraft. Still out there trying to send messages to us. And if this is it's 1/48 scale, and this is the Voyager, I believe this is the one that is the first man-made thing to actually truly leave the solar system. It's completely outside of our gravitational pull now. And outside that, I forget what they call that barrier around the solar system. That's amazing stuff, man. I mean, human hands built this, and it's out there flying through space. Yes, just go ahead and tell the hostile aliens where we're at. Oh, that is great. Well, Mr. Mahoney, I thank you very, very, very much for those gifts. That's just very generous and very wonderful. Now I've got to go do the research on the things I just talked about so that I can put the proper stuff over my head, when I to see if I was right or wrong about the things I was saying off the top of my head. So let me go do that research, which, of course, by the time you see this, you'll already have the information because I will have posted it earlier in the video. And so I should really stop babbling about that. Well, guys, thank you very much. Mr. Mahoney, once again, thank you very, very much. I'll get the stuff organized and try to get it into the build cube. Every time I open these boxes, it's like Christmas, and you get it like, I want to start on this right away. And I need a Groundhog Day to do them all, but we're going to get to it as fast as we can. Oh, this is such a wonderful bunch of people at this channel. I love you guys so much. You really, 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 really make me just feel so happy. Styrene gives me joy. Styrene joy. That's a t-shirt. Take care, guys, and as always, model on. I used my right hand this time, okay?